Hello, I'm Clark Crawford, and welcome back to Clark Crawford Sports. Today's episode will feature a recap of the Astros series earlier this week against the Toronto Blue Jays, along with the preview of the upcoming four-game series beginning today, Friday night, with the Astros' first road trip of the season starting in Arlington, Texas, against the hated rival Texas Rangers. Let's get right into it. On Monday, the Houston Astros made a bit of history with Ronel Blanco in his eighth career start, throwing a no-hitter in a 10-0 victory. Blanco was incredible, carving up the Blue Jays offense all night long. And not to overshadow the no-hitter, but there were also a few other highlights from the game, notably to mention Kyle Tucker and Yainer Diaz both hit their first and second homers, resulting in their first multi-homer games of the season for both players. Now, Tuesday's matchup was a pitcher's duel between Jose Barrios and Framber Valdez. Each starter had outstanding performances while receiving no decisions, as the Astros took a 1-0 lead in the fourth inning off of a solo homer from Jose Altuve. The problem for the Astros in this game was they took the 1-0 lead into the ninth inning. Josh Hader comes in the ninth inning, attempting to get his first save as a Houston Astro in his career. And well, with two outs, he gave up a two-run homer to outfielder Davis Snyder, resulting in the Blue Jays winning the game 2-1. It was a game-winning two-run homer. The Astros had a couple of base-running blunders in that game, while Jose Altuve was picked off at third base in the eighth inning, and Jake Meyers, attempting to steal after pinch running in the bottom of the ninth, slipped partway through his run, tried to stop, whatever really happened there. And, well, he was tagged out easily, and that pretty much ended the Astros' hopes of winning that game and taking the series after two games. But in the rubber match of the series, Houston avenged their heartbreaking loss from Tuesday, bouncing back to win 8-0. 7 games into the season, but Yordan Alvarez finally woke up, better late than never, smashing 2 home runs, going 4 for 5, powered the offense and the team to the victory. Toronto was outscored 19-2 in the 3 games, yet miraculously they were able to win one of the 3 and salvage a game in the series. So the Astros record after 7 games is now 2-5 on the season, and the Astros were able to shut down a high-powered offense and a very good team in the Toronto Blue Jays, as they're expected to be in 2024. On to the weekend 4-game series against Arlington, which wraps around Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Not a typical series, but this is a wraparound series. The rivalry 2024 version of the Astros Rangers is set to begin Friday night, where the Astros, who have won 8 straight on the road against the Rangers, as a lot of Astros fans like myself like to call it, Minute Maid Park North, because they dominate in Arlington in recent memory, and also because, well, the Rangers basically built a ballpark similar to the Astros. It's basically Minute Maid Park North, as I mentioned. Texas has begun the season 4-2, while the Astros, as I mentioned, are 2-5. Pitching matchup to start the series against the Rangers is Hunter Brown versus Cody Bradford. Both starters are in their second full MLB season, and they're attempting to become staples of the respected teams' rosters, and preferably for them starting rotations for years to come, as it should be an exciting pitching matchup to open another chapter in this historic state rivalry between the two baseball clubs. Saturday's is a battle of right-handed hurlers, J.P. France for Houston and John Gray for Texas. France is looking to extend his successful rookie season onto a sophomore season, while Gray is hoping to improve on his north of 4 ERA from 2023. Gray had a rough outing in his first start of the year as well. Sunday night's primetime ESPN Sunday Night Baseball matchup will be between Ronel Blanco and Dane Dunning. Blanco is coming off of his no-hitter, as we all heard earlier in the week from Monday night, while Dunning supports a career .419 ERA. Blanco showed a devastating changeup which fooled many Toronto hitters, and striking out 7 of them, all on the changeup. Dunning is looking to build off a career-best 12-win season in 2023. The finale on Monday is a battle of southpaws, as Framber Valdez will face off against Andrew Heaney. For the Astros side of things, Framber has had one good start and one bad start on the season. So the question for me remains, and I think it should for many Astros fans, is which Framber are you going to get? Are you going to get the good Fromber or the bad Fromber? Good Fromber is 2022 and the first half of 2023 and parts of 2021, or the bad Fromber early in his career in the second half of last season. We'll see if the consistent Fromber shows up or the inconsistent. You just never know what's going to happen these days here in 2024. Heaney will be making a second start of the 2024 season for the Rangers, attempting to shut down a hot offense coming into this pivotal divisional rivalry matchup. Both teams, the Rangers are looking to extend their hot start on the year. As I mentioned, they're 4-2, and the Astros are looking to draw some blood and gain some ground in the division as they dug themselves a hole so far to start the year. I know it's only 7 games in, but if you look at the record 7 games in, they've dug themselves a hole. There's no other way to put it. The good news for them is there's still plenty of games remaining to play, and the Rangers are looking to extend their division lead, which they have so far here in 2024 early on. Injury note that will impact Texas for the next 8 to 10 weeks, as Josh Young fractured his right wrist on a hit by pitch earlier this week. It's the second consecutive year Young has fractured his wrist and has been forced to miss significant time. This is going to be a key loss for the Rangers for the next 8 to 10, maybe even up to 12 weeks, depending on how long it takes for him to heal. So their offense might take a bit of a dip over the time that Josh Young misses, but they have plenty of offensive firepower to sustain this kind of injury for 2 months. A whole season's another story, but for a couple-month injury, the Rangers have plenty of big bats in their lineup, as they proved winning the World Series last year. They can sustain a couple of injuries, as you have to be a good club to sustain an injury or two, key injury or two, to your club to win a World Series as the Rangers did last year. As for the Astros side of things, one thing to note, Justin Verlander will begin a rehab start on Sunday for the Sugar Land Space Cowboys. So that's something to note. Possibly 2 to 3 weeks, Verlander's going to be back. They expect him to make at least 2 rehab starts. For me, because Verlander's already 41, I would lean to pitching him 3 rehab starts to make sure he's fully ready to go. But when you have a diva, as Justin Verlander is, let's just face it, Astros fans, if he's ready after 1 start, or if they convince him a second start, he's going to force his way back onto the club and into the rotation because, well, he's a diva and he's a future Hall of Famer. There's no other way to put it. Expect this to be a bloodbath of a series between 2 teams, as if the Rangers were to sweep the Astros, it would put them in digging a deeper hole. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the Astros would then be 6.5 games back this early in the season. That would kind of be a devastating blow with new manager Joe Espada at the helm of, if you start, that would be 2-9 on the season if you lose 4 straight to the Rangers. A lot of people at that point would be calling for Joe Espada's head, as I mean the fans. But I mean, come on, you're not going to fire a manager 11 games into the season if you start 2-9. That's just not going to happen. Obviously, if the Astros were to get swept, that would be worst case scenario, but I don't think that's going to happen here in this scenario. I think the more likely scenario is one team takes 3 of 4, or you get a 2-2 even series split. But with the Astros' recent success in Arlington, the Astros are out for blood, and I expect them to play well in this series. And for this series to really just be a bloodbath between 2 teams, it's going to be a dogfight, and may the best team win this series. The Rangers have Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, et cetera, et cetera. The Astros have all their big bats ready to go. Yordan Alvarez maybe continuing his hot streak. We'll see. And, of course, Jose Altuve leading the team with 3 homers early on this season. So we'll wrap up the latest edition of Clark Crawford Sports. Thank you all for watching. Please do not forget, if you aren't already, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Thanks for watching.